All right, guys. Fulu coming to you with another video. I hope all is well. Now, granted, the situation with gender relations, especially in the West, is at a very, very low state, and it's at a very, very low time right now. It's at the place that people wanted it to be, especially the hyenas and the white feminists and those ethnicities adjacent to the white feminists. It's what they wanted, and it's what they now are living with. This includes every community in the West, including the Muslim women, which are, I would say, about probably 95% of them have taken this, have decided to take in this route that they have taken. And voila, this is how it's paying off. Internal, like, I guess you can say internalized misandry, and them having a platform for internalized misandry via Instagram and on TikTok, when the men don't have the same platform to combat this misandry because they will get canceled. I was watching the Ballon d'Or last night, and for those of you guys who don't know, the Ballon d'Or is award ceremony which world footballers receive accolades for their on-field displays. For those of you guys who don't know me, I am an avid football fan. I do like football. I like to watch football. I think football is one of the games that show what positive impact of globalization looks like, and what, working together for a common goal looks like when you guys may not even share the same background or share the same ethnic origins or share the same religious origins. Now, I'm big on a couple of footballers. I was bigger on them due to the league they played in, but some of them have since downgraded. I made a video about Victor Osimhen the other day, and I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm not watching no. What do you call it? I'm not watching no Turkish league. I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm not watching Turkish league. I'm sorry. Had he went to England, I would have been all over it. I would have been supporting him way more. But I'm not. I'm not watching Turkish league. Another player who fits this. Another player who fits this category, who, although he is from my tribe and we are co-tribalists and co-religionists, is the Ballon d'Or winner himself, Ousmane Dembele. And I want to tell the story of his success when it comes to the Ballon d'Or and what factors come into him when it comes to him winning that Ballon d'Or. For those of you guys who don't know, Ousmane Dembele, he's athletically very gifted, but he's also technically highly skilled. Okay, he's not dependent on one foot. He has the ability to score with. He has the ability to score with both feet. He doesn't really score with his head that much because he's more of a playmaker than he is a forward, but he still is knocking in goals. Now, when it comes to Ousmane Dembele, when it comes to Ousmane Dembele, the thing about him is that he was he was almost, I guess you can say, he 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 peaked. He peaked like very early, and I think at the beginning stages of his career, he kind of wanted to take things on easy mode, and because he was young, he kind of, didn't he didn't look after those minute things that make a big difference, such as his diet and what have you. Okay, he didn't do that. That's the thing. So the thing is that he started off at Rennes, French club. He started off at Rennes. Now this was a minor club, but the thing is, everybody saw the talent. Everybody saw it. So fast forward, he goes to Dortmund. After Rennes, he goes to Dortmund. And even in Dortmund, they saw the potential. They saw like a raw talent, speed, dribbling abilities, having that engine on him. They saw all of that. They saw this and said, okay, yeah, we got to take note. So what happened then is, since I guess you can say there was kind of like a friction, and ironically, the funny thing about this friction, this is the funny thing about the friction between these two. I guess their egos were too big. But the funny thing about it is that there was a friction between Neymar and Messi at Barcelona, so one had to leave. And so Neymar was the first to leave. And ironically, the money that they used, the money that they gained from Neymar going to PSG, they used that money to buy Ousmane Dembele. Now, Ousmane Dembele in Barcelona, people call him a flop, but the thing is, he was still very young, number one. Number two, new language, new city, new surroundings, him being kind of a shy, reserved type of individual. This was all new to him, okay? This was new. Now, what also needs to be said, however, and I'm just gonna straight out say it, and then I'll get to the core of this video. I'll get to the core of this video, okay? I'm just gonna say it. There was another factor at play that made him not successful as he could have been in Barcelona. There was one other factor at play. And I'm going to be honest with you, because I used to be a Barcelona fan. Don't get it twisted. I used to be a fan of Barcelona. I mean, when Samuel Eto'o was there, when you had Yaya Toure there, when you had Seydou Keita there, when you had even what's his name there, when you had that guy Maxwell there, when you had Dani Alves. Yeah, I used to be a fan of Barca. Even let's just say when Dembele was there, I was a fan of Barca. But the more I researched into Barca, I realized that, man, these guys are straight Zionists. So I have since renounced my allegiance to Barcelona, and now I support Atletico Bilbao due to their pro-Palestinian stance. Now, they leave some stuff to be desired in terms of how they're doing in the league. There's some stuff to be desired. They let's just be honest, they're a work in progress. But Atletico Bilbao, they're now incorporating more Basque players of African descent. So you'll have a Senegalese defender there. I think you have a Bissauan striker who has since went on loan to Saudi Arabia. And you also have the two Ghanaian brothers. You have Inaki Williams and you have Nico Williams, who, Nico Williams, he just kind of sold himself. He kind of just sold he kind of just like baited Atletico Bilbao to pay him more money because there was talks of him going to Barcelona. Now, back to the topic. Messi was jealous of Ousmane Dembele. I'm going to be honest with you. He didn't want to see a guy just basically take the baton, especially a guy of his complexion, take the baton and dominate. Okay? Now, granted, there were some things that Ousmane Dembele didn't do himself in terms of discipline that led to his kind of like stint at Barcelona being kind of like a hard time. And I will admit that. There were some things that there were some things that he didn't take care of when it came to his time at Barcelona. I'm just going to address that. But he goes to PSG, never looks back, wins the treble, Champions League, the league, and the French Cup. Now, granted, I'm gonna be honest. PSG is the French league is a league where only two teams really three teams really dominate. I would say PSG, Marseille, and Monaco. That are kind of like neck and neck with each other. I'll say that. Now, he went there, he dominated, and the thing is that there was another person who went there and dominated as well. And they both have two things in common. The other person who went there and dominated, his name is Khvicha Kvaratskhelia, who was playing in Napoli, decided to leave Napoli and go to PSG. First season at PSG, what does he do? Treble. Now, there's two things they have in common. The women they're with. These women that they were with, I'll talk about Ousmane Dembele's wife, and then I'll go to talk about Khvicha Kvaratskelia's wife. Now, the thing is about Ousmane Dembele's wife, she was there from the beginning. Her name is Rima, I believe, Edbouch. Rima Edbouche. And she's of Moroccan descent. Now, when Ousmane Dembele was in his first team in the French top flight, she was there in the beginning. So they had a relationship with one another. Of course, she saw the potential. She saw that he was going places. But this was even at the beginning stage when he was just in the academy where he was at. Now, you fast forward, he's married, has a child with her. Now, granted, us West Africans have been marrying North Africans for quite some time now, largely due to the intersections of religion. But also, there are some cultural intersections. Now, of course, you'll see, you know, two groups of people who are against this. You'll see the pro-black crowd who is against it, and then you will see white people who are against it because they're insecure. Both groups are insecure. Now, what needs to be said, though, is that this woman must be good, because even before they tied the knot, she was not showing herself like the regular hijabi influencers. She was still keeping herself, not showing herself, not even really showing her face like that on her social media. When she got married, she deleted all the content on her social media, believe it or not. You know, she deleted everything, basically. And even since then, even in Barcelona, she didn't even know, or I mean, Barcelona didn't even know Ousmane Dembele had a significant other. It was not known to them. That's how low profile they were. But fast forward, he's getting all these accolades. He talks about how his wife helped him and how the marriage basically made him hone in on what he needs to do. And this just goes to show you, because many people will think that like someone who is seeing the problems of, you know, relationship dynamics, many people will say, oh, you hate women, or you just don't like women, or this, that, and the other. But let it be known that having a woman like Ousmane Dembele's woman, right? And I'm not lusting after her, and I'm not jealous of the man. Okay, I'm happy for the man. You know, I'm happy that he's achieved these accolades. As a matter of fact, he cried on stage because he achieved these things. He cried. What I'm saying is I desire to have a type of woman that he has, because she, you know, shy, not like the other hijabi influencers who show themselves, who show off, who take all these selfies and have this self-absorbed narcissistic attitude. And then will treat, and then expect a man to basically be okay with that, and not only be okay with that, reward them for it, and then not give him anything in return that is worth the marriage. So this is why I like, and it's a beautiful story, I like seeing things like this. I like seeing it. It lets me know that there's still a little bit of hope. You know, he's a footballer, yes, don't get me wrong. He's a multi-million footballer, right? But he still had her when he was still climbing the ranks, okay? And this just goes to show you the importance of choosing right. And he chose right. You know? He chose right. And it's led to very good rewards. And obviously he had a good family background to make sure that he chose right. Now, we move on to Khvicha Kvaratskhelia. Khvicha Kvaratskhelia is of Georgian descent, very small country next to Azerbaijan, next to Armenia, borders Russia as well. Very small country with a very strong, sturdy people. His wife, okay, although they have a different, you know, a different belief than Ousmane Dembele and his wife, basically, they're still having parallels with each other. Now, his wife, Nitsa, Tavadisi, was the same thing. It was his childhood girlfriend, you know. It was his childhood sweetheart. The thing is about her is that she didn't let her career get in the way. You know, she didn't let her fact that she was a, you know, she was a medical student. She didn't let that get in the way. She didn't let that change the way she thought. She didn't let that make her into a boss chick, as most of these women would do, including the I want to say the Muslim, right? The Muslim hijabi, the non-hijabi Muslim, and just the Western woman in general, who think that because they get a certain job or a certain status, that all of a sudden they can switch up. It didn't happen with her. So, you know, they tied the knot traditionally, Georgian Orthodox Christian style. And she's the same thing. She's the same thing. Very low profile. You don't really hear about her or anything like that. But she plays her role. They have a kid now. She was there with him in all his clubs. So again, very important how they chose. Now, on the flip side of things, you look at Steph Curry, you look at PJ Washington, and you look at other NBA stars, and you see what they're going through. You see the fact that Steph Curry's wife just basically emasculated him, basically made him into a eunuch by saying, I wasn't attracted to him from the start. I wasn't really romantically interested in him. You see her say that I wish I was still desired. You see her display herself on social media. You look at Russell Wilson and his situation with Ciara, and what is she doing? Twerking on camera, topless, dressing, but not dressing at award shows. And what happens? Their game suffers. Now, I already talked about the Stephen Diggs and Cardi B thing. There's no need to talk about it, but you see the polar opposite. And granted, I don't know what these men are thinking. I don't know if they want women like this, like a Aisha Curry, or a damn Ciara. I don't know if they want women like this, or if it's like, or a Brittany Renner, or if it's just something that like lust takes over, and there's no spiritual element that keeps them from, like, let's just say, spiritual element that keeps them from engaging these women. Okay? But my message to get across, and I'm just going to end it. Okay, so what needs to be said, right, is that I'm going to leave you guys with these two quotes from, one is a hadith, and then the other is a another is a just a saying from Umar al-Khattab radiyallahu an. You know, that's the thing. So hold on, let me read it. I'll start off with the hadith first. I'll do the hadith first. Okay. So the hadith is kind of long. It goes like this basically. An Azza ibn Abi Rabah Qala Raitu Jahrani Abdullahi wa Jahrin Umari al-Ansarina Yarimayan faqala huma lisahibi samitu Rasulullahi sallallahu alayhi wa sallam qal yaqul kullu shay laysa fihi dhikru wallahi fa huwa lahu wa laib illa arba'ah mullah abata rajuli amratahu wa tatiba rajuli farasa mashayahu baina garuda daini wa talimu rajuli sibahata. Riwayat Ahmed Nisai. So it says, on the authority of Ata ibn ibn Abi Rabah, who said, I saw Jabir ibn Abdullah and Jabir ibn Umar, both helpers, and they were practicing archery. One of them said to his companion, I heard the Messenger of Allah sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, anything that is devoid of Allah's remembrance is just entertainment and amusements, apart from four: a man having fun with his wife, a man disciplining his horse, and his going in between two targets and teaching a man how to swim. So this goes to show you, this just goes to show you, like, basically having fun with your wife, right, is a part of the good companionship that the husband is commanded to. The Prophet alayhi salatu salam said to Jabir when he married a woman who had been married before, why not a virgin so that you can play with her and she can play with you? And that was in Al-Bukhari and Muslim. Now, Umar said, radiyallahu an, Umar said, nothing benefits a man after faith in Allah as much as a wife with good character, loving and fertile. So, I mean, now granted, they were living in a different time, but even them, they knew the importance of having a good wife, having a good woman. It's just at the time we're living in right now, these women are incentivized monetarily in other ways not to be good, including the Muslim ones as well. As I said in one of my previous videos, the average Western Muslim woman wants to look towards Nicki Minaj, Cardi B as examples on how she should carry herself. But and people, you know, and this is sad, I fall victim to this, that I did not get married in the West. I lifted up the white flag in the West because of the simple fact that, you know, I just saw what was going on, and I knew that there was pretty much no hope for me. You know how they say you attract who you are? They say that. The problem is that maybe who you are, right, attracts the opposite as well. And me, I've been known to be calm, reserved, but when it comes to things that I like boxing, combat sports, talking about the religion, different political issues, unfortunately, then I can hold my conversations But for the most part, I stay pretty quiet. So it's unfortunate that I attracted the opposite. That there was the misandrist, there was the masculine Nisha who felt that they needed to try to emasculate me because I wasn't going to let it happen. I wasn't going to let them do so. You know, I even if it meant me talking to them in a way that they didn't like. But in my new place, my new adopted homeland, I have to I admit I'm still, unlearning some things that I had to learn in while I was in the West. Because I'm gonna be honest with you, sometimes I'm surprised that certain women will just say hello to me out of nowhere, and I'll be like, oh shoot, you know what I mean? I'll be like because I don't expect that, I'm gonna end this video by saying the Muslim women in the West and the non-Muslim women in the West, 99% of the time they have the resting bitch face. Now, I'll end it also by saying that they fell into the trap that the people who say that they care about them but really don't care about them want, and that's just, I believe, population control. Less families, more workers means more people, more of a select few people get rich, and the longer that the people have to work as well. The longer people will have to work, the higher the retirement age is, and everything that comes into that factor. But I hope this helps. My message is basically, the women are out there, the good ones are out there, but it's just that good one, you probably have to know her when you're just starting out. And if you do meet her, if you're not starting out, she's gonna do these things that Ousmane Dembele's wife did, and that Khvicha Kvaratskelia's wife did. But with that being said, Foolish signing out. Leave your thoughts, leave your comments. And Jaram.